Hi. Aligning inline block elements can be tricky. For example, if we take a look at this all container and the rest of the containers, we see that this all containers height seems to be 1 pixel less than the rest of the containers. If we zoom in, and yes, we can see that this two is not aligned. So let's look into the dev tools why they're not aligned. So if we see the height of this overall container that we can see, which is highlighted, is 73 pixels, and the remaining siblings, if you see, it's 74 pixels. So what is adding to this 1 pixel difference between rest of the containers and these all containers? The only difference in the structure is that this all container is a collection of icons and the rest of the containers is just the icon, just one icon. So let's take a deeper look into that container. So this seems to be, this seems to be the container. There's a collection of icons which is 29 pixels in height. Let's close this and let's take a look at the rest of the containers. So this is the container once again which is responsible for this icon, and we can see the height is 30 pixels, and that is true for rest of the containers too. So why is this container 30 pixels and the previous one that we have seen is 29? This one, yes, this one is 29 pixels. So if we see closely that explicit height hasn't been specified, so this height seems to be being calculated by the browser as 29 pixels, and same for the container, this container. So height is being calculated as 30 pixels. So how this explicit height is being calculated and what should we do to align them? So the quick fix could be to add a height of 30 pixels to this container, and if we zoom in, they're aligned. Or maybe add a, instead of adding an height, maybe we can add a padding top or margin top to this, which may not be the best solution or in this case. So let's see how this implicit height has been calculated. So this implicit height is being calculated on three factors, that's the font size, the number of lines, and the line height. So this is basically calculated as per this formula. So you calculate the height for each lines with font sizes, line height, and for the total height you calculated the number of lines, and then you subtract the overlap between two lines. So let's see what is the font size for this container and what is the line height. So if you see the font size out here, let's scroll down. So font size, so at least we can see the line height is 1. So let's put the line height as 1. Also we know the number of line is 1, and we can see the font size, or maybe we'll take the font size from here, which has been cascaded from somewhere else maybe. So 30 pixels. So 30 pixels. Oh, and this formula is gone. So sorry, I had to just take it back. This formula was deleted. So once again I'll put back 30, 1 and 1. So we get as 30 pixels as the height. And for this container, so we have to go to the parent. So we know there are 2 lines. So we'll put number of lines as 2. So the font size, once again we can see 13 pixels. I'll put 13 pixels. And the line height, if we keep scrolling down, the line height is, this guy is taking the line height from the body. So the line height is being taken as 1.25 from here. So let's put the line height as 1.25. So you see the height is being calculated as 29 pixels. So this has been rounded off. So I guess the better fix would be to, instead of providing a fixed height or margin or padding in this case, I think better solution would be to use line height as 1 and font size as maybe 15 pixels. So let's zoom in once again. So yes, they're aligned, but what has happened in this case, this icon size has grown up by 2 pixels, and if you see, as per our calculations out here, the font size we have provided 15, line height 1, the number of line 2, so yeah, this takes as 30 pixels. Or maybe if we would like to keep the font size as 13 pixels in this case, so maybe we need to increase the line height, maybe 1.3, 1.35. Yeah, so the line height is, if we adjust the line height, we can also align them, but I would still prefer like to keep the line height as 1 instead of any fraction, and we can use the font size as 15 pixels. Yes, that's all. Thank you.